What's up, captive insurance agents? You're doing great where you're working at right now, but guess what? All that money that you're making, that's for the company. You're doing pretty good. You're making six figures, but you're leaving money on the table and you're capping your potential on how far you can go and grow in this industry. Today, I want to introduce you to someone who is in your exact same position. A close personal friend of mine and my best agent, Miss Shawanda Goins. Miss Goins, how you doing?
I'm good. How are you, Chauncey?
I'm doing all right. Doing all right.
Great.
So, Shawanda, it's been a heck of a ride, ain't it?
Yes, it has.
What's it been? 17 years?
17 years in the business.
17 years.
Yes.
So we started together as captive agents for a life insurance carrier. We did that for a couple of years, and you know, I was thinking about that the other day. Those were fun times. We kept the lights on in that branch.
And we sure did, because we were going back and forth. Okay, who's going to get the most this week?
I know,
me or
right?
Chauncey, right.
And everybody was sitting back like, oh, Shawanda gonna get it this week. I bet Chauncey get it. It was crazy.
It was a friendly competition, I enjoyed
competition for that whole, close to 2 years?
No, it wasn't 2 years. It was less than a year for me.
That's right, because they ended up closing that branch up. I left a little bit before, and then they shut it down, and then you left. And we went our separate ways, but we kept in contact. I went back to the field, and you took the career route. Right. And you went for a major carrier. Yes. And you were doing extremely well there. You had pretty much all the comforts and amenities that a successful top agent like yourself had. I know you were making six figures already.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
What else? You had car allowances and what else?
So this company is one of the top companies around. Mm-hmm. Been around over 50 years. This Fortune 500 company. Mm-hmm. All right. We had car allowance. We had mileage reimbursements. Of course, we had benefits, insurance benefits. Mm-hmm. We had retirement benefits. They provided marketing. Mm-hmm. They provided leads. Mm-hmm. They provided so many other things. I cannot even remember. But it was great. Everything was going great.
All right.
Okay.
So fast forward, you did that for a while.
Over about 14 years.
You did, and you were extremely successful. You transitioned to the independent world about close to 4 years ago, a little bit. Mm-hmm. So what made you leave all of those comforts and amenities that you had there and to transition to the independent world?
So I had a trade-off. Mm-hmm. I had to trade that off for this new environment that we're in now. Because number one, I wanted to cut out the middleman. Mm-hmm. I knew I can only bet on myself. Okay. So I knew what potential I had, but I was limited. I could only write that one particular brand. Mm-hmm. So when I went to meet with a client, if they didn't want that brand, then I lost a sale. I would call you and refer you right. Mm-hmm. That's right, because I couldn't do it. Mm-hmm. So I felt limited.
Yep.
I wanted to be free. Now, I was afraid to step out because you don't know the unknown.
Right.
I know you had been coaching me, telling me this, that, and the other, but I was comfortable. I was content. Right. I was producing and I was happy. Mm-hmm. But I said, well, I wonder what it would be if I did step over the line. Mm-hmm. And I'm glad I did.
So what pushed you? What was the catalyst that really just made you say, okay, this is it?
Okay.
I got the role.
Let me tell you why. Mm-hmm. Upper management. Mm-hmm. They came in having us doing busy work just for the sake of doing work. It wasn't generating any income, the type of busy work that they had us doing, or it was generating very little income. Mm-hmm. Okay. And they set certain goals, so if they provided a lead, that's called a supported lead. Mm. So if I did not write an unsupported lead, they wouldn't count my supported lead.
Wow.
Okay. And
another way to kind of get in your pockets.
Right. And then every year they start cutting back on the car allowance, cutting back on mileage, cutting back on this or cutting back on that, or commission for different plans that we had. Mm-hmm. And I was like, okay, Now you're telling me, okay, Shawanda, you can get this off of this sale, and I'm telling you, well, that's not what we get. I'm like, they are
Right.
really, they get over half.
Right.
And I'm like, where's all that money going? It's not going to us. I know we got our, we had a base salary and commission. Okay, I was successful. I'm glad of that, but I was like, I can do much more on my own. I was afraid I was not going to have the leads, and because I had to walk away from my book of business. And I had been there for years, so I had to walk away. I had to sign that over back to that company. So I said, okay, well, I'm going to step out on faith and I'm going to trust God. And I am so glad I did.
Okay, well, tell me about the independent world. You got into the independent world. Tell us the start, because I know it was kind of scary for you at first. So just tell us about that beginning and just kind of take us through that journey.
The transition was smooth with your help. I promise you. Thank you, because you have been right there. You did what you said you were going to do. You have led and guided me through the process because I had no clue what to do with all these different contracts, with all the different carriers, and you get this and that. I was like, oh, this is a lot. And so, but it was worth it. It was really worth it, because you provided me leads up front. And my book of business, yes, I had to leave them, but guess what? They still called me.
Exactly, because at the end of the day, there's their book, but they're your clients.
They're my clients.
I always like to use this analogy. It's like a successful college football or basketball coach. Those kids are not going to play necessarily for that school. They're going to play for that coach. So if that coach changed schools, them recruits coming with
They're going with them.
So it's the
same thing. And it did not take me long. It did not take me long. The first year out, I remember for AEP, I started in June of 2021. That AEP, I was able to write 139 enrollments that first year at the gate. And I was like, wow, I do this at the other company or more, And I was like, okay, I'm gonna like this.
So tell us about the commissions, because you're getting renewals now. So how does the money and everything compare to you had that set salary over there, but now you're getting renewals every month and commission. So just kind of talk to us about that.
Now that part was really interesting in the beginning, because you like, okay, Shawanda, when you write a plan, it has to be on the books for at least 12 months or to the end of the year. And you'll get the commission the next year, the renewals the next year. And I couldn't understand that for the world of me. I was like, okay, now what are you talking about? I am gonna get paid, right? Yeah, you're gonna get that one lump sum, but the next year, if they still on the books by December 31st, you're gonna get renewals. So after I figured that out, it's awesome right now. It really is. So, I mean, you have to continue to write to build your book. You have to continue to write, because people
what you gonna do? You would have did that for the company.
Exactly.
Same work.
Exactly. People will die. They will change plans. They will move out of your service area and so forth. So you have to continue to deep dive every day. You got to be structured. You got to, and this company taught me a lot of that, So yeah, so with my self-motivated skills and, ability, I was able to be successful.
Awesome. So are you about close with salary-wise, renewals and everything?
So my my commission or my income is far greater now with being on the independent side versus being captive.
What about your flexibility and stuff like that?
That's priceless. You cannot put a price on that. I do need flexibility with my lifestyle. And I don't have to call and ask for a day off, and I travel. Football season, I am there. Trying to be like, what's your one? I'll be in so-and-so this weekend.
I'll call you. I'm in Florida.
I'm in Vegas at the game, but I'll be back Monday, So, I love that because that's my livelihood. You got to play, you got to work hard and play hard.
Exactly.
And I do both. And I've been successful with that, and I know as I age, I'm going to stop all that traveling and then really work a little harder. But yeah, it works because I need that flexibility.
Exactly.
But being on that job, you got to ask for time off.
Oh, yeah.
They got blackout periods where you cannot take off, you know, and just to run an errand. I mean, just yesterday I had to go to the Mountain Med with my son. I would have had to call in and say, I need about 5 hours because I was up there at least 3.5.
And that's crazy that they would do that.
Right.
And you're in the sales capacity because basically at the end of it, it's a job.
It's a job. It's not a job now.
Exactly.
See, what's that saying? Your job is what you are paid to do, but your calling is what you are made to do.
Exactly.
So I feel like that is my calling, to be in this industry, to be able to help people, you know. So I love what I do. I love it.
Awesome. So do you have any, sounds like you don't have any regrets.
No, sir.
All right.
I wish I had done this years ago, but I was afraid because they provided everything I needed. You know, leads, marketing, you name it. They provided all of that.
But you still had to, you know, self-generate and get your own prospects too at the same time.
Yes.
They give you
And before I left, they had cut almost half of that stuff
Exactly.
out.
So you still got to go out and hustle and get your own stuff going, even working for the company.
Exactly.
So it's the same.
It's the same because people are going to follow you. If you do right by them, they will send you all the referrals, all of their friends, family, church members, whomever. You will get referrals.
Exactly.
Yeah. And that has sustained my business. Yeah.
And you're growing in this business too. Right now, you just became an agency director. Congratulations. So now you're building a team on your own.
Yes.
So now you're in a position where you can grow even further. So
that's the plan.
Unlimited potential.
That is the plan.
What you tapped into.
Right.
Awesome.
And that's challenging because I'm not just trying to find people. I want to filter out the ones who are not serious, because when you recruit, I'm not going to say recruit, I'm going to say filter, because there's going to be a lot of people going to come across. But I want somebody who is hungry, who is self-motivated, need the money, you know, and willing to work. That's what I'm looking for. Because I don't want to have to hold your hand and be on the phone all day answering questions. You got to come in here self-motivated and ready to join this winning team.
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly. All right. So what would you recommend for somebody? Because it's a lot of people out there in your position. I actually was in that same position, but I wasn't working for a captive agent. I was even worse. I was doing customer service for a company making like $30,000 a year. And I had to get fired from that to get out here in this real world.
So force you out.
I had to be forced out. And you had to have a catalyst too. So I totally get people being on the fence. And it takes some time to think about that. So for the people out there that are in that position, that's got to work, if they know that is more out there and they seeing the writing on the wall with the company, but they just don't know, what would you tell that person?
I would tell that person to self-evaluate yourself. Because if you are really ready to make that move, your fear is holding you back. Don't let fear hold you back. Because you have so much opportunity and potential to be great. You know, you can create your own business. Long as you're within the guidelines with CMS and everything, you can do it. You can do it. I am a true testament that it can be done.
That's right.
It can be done.
That's right.
And I say don't hold back. Just try it. Just try, because if you don't like it, guess what? You can always go back.
Always go back to another carrier.
I'm not looking back.
Exactly. It worked for you.
It worked. It worked.
Exactly.
It worked. So I say step out on fear and just do it. But make sure you join the right team. Because if you don't join the right team, then that could lead to a lot of, you know, chaos and so forth.
Exactly.
But
exactly.
I say try it. Just try it.
You got to bet on yourself.
You got to bet on yourself.
You got to bet on yourself. That's just at the end of the day. And you guys, I know you're in a position where you're comfortable, but one thing I had to learn, comfort is the enemy of progress. You're not going to go where you're going if you trying to be comfortable. You got to be comfortable being uncomfortable. I think I heard Kevin Hart say that one time. And that's the only way you make progress. So I want to end this by issuing a challenge. So you guys, you're making good money, you're doing well for yourself, but here's a challenge. Just you're doing well in the structured environment where everything was provided. Just imagine, just for a moment, just think about it, close your eyes, do a little daydreaming for a moment. Imagine how far you can go if you were in your own structure, something that you got full control over, where you make the rules, you set it how you want, and you keep all the money, all the commission is all yours. Yeah, you're gonna have to work, but you're working anyway. It's the same job, the same people, the same everything. Take what you do for the company and do it for yourself. Think about how that might look for you. And if you're remotely curious on how that might look, you're concerned about the structure, I understand the trepidation. Trust me, I get it. If you just want to know what that might look like, click that link below and give us a call. Porter Insurance Professionals. We can help. Shawanda, it's been a pleasure talking with you again, my friend.
Yes.
I will be seeing you again soon. We're going to be on the recruiting trails together out there the next few days or so.
Absolutely.
So again, I thank you for coming by.
Oh, no problem. Thank you for having me.
You guys, again, Porter Insurance Professionals, we can help.